Can I live in Italy on Social Security? Guess what? We did it! We lived in Italy on a Social Security income. Now, there's a couple of things that will crop up in this conversation, and I'm going to address them, and then I'm going to give you a solution on how to do it for those of you that think, well, you can't do that because the government tells you you have to do it this way and we don't qualify. So I'm going to give you an insight into that. Stick with the video. We're having several different kinds of gnocchi today. This one here, it's cheese gnocchi. It's fresh tomato and basil and olives. This one here is cheese gnocchi with fresh mushrooms and olives. And then our third course gnocchi is going to be a pesto sauce. Okay, and so here's the pesto one. Very rich. We're the can-do channel, folks. We get it done, as they say in the South. And so the idea behind living on that income, because we're not on Social Security, but small means, and whether we get there age-wise at some point we will. But I'm saying, as I say in a lot of my videos, you don't have to wait till you get to that. Different conversation. But in every country, for example, when you go to the schedules of how much people earn, and you look at a lot of those Western Europe countries, the figures are a lot higher. They're a lot higher than, say, South America, or, you know, Ecuador, or Mexico. Although they're trying to change that by simply a stroke of the pen, you know, raising requirements. You know, you've heard of places, oh, you know, retired on $900 over here in Vietnam, but let's say, you know, Vietnam, Southeast Asia, South America. Let's say you want to go to Italy. No can do, right? Well, on the money front, there are always, and I mean always, because even in USA this is true, lower cost of living areas. Now, there may be reasons why they're lower cost of living, but as a person that wants to travel, a lot of those reasons may not matter. Like, why do we care? And I'm saying this carefully, not that I don't care about people, but I'm saying, how does it doesn't affect our ability to travel to a place whether there's no jobs there and people are leaving. That's not going to affect our ability to live somewhere. When I was living in a village in Italy, it was the most beautiful place in the world. Angie keeps telling me that's the most beautiful place you have ever taken me, Frank. And although we say that when we go somewhere else, then we say, well, this is the most beautiful place because look at this place. I mean, that little village we were in Italy didn't have huge beaches like this. So every place has its thing that you fall in love with. And so a lot of times you will find these hidden areas, lower cost of living areas that people will shun because of some sort of statistic that doesn't apply to your desire to live somewhere. And you know, you don't have to live there forever. That's another concept. A lot of people do this travel the world thing, and they want to move somewhere as if they're going to just live there forever. Well, you can live there forever or not. You know, you can change your mind at any time. That's my point. And so every country has that lower cost of living area, and your job is to find it. And people in our membership area are supported in that activity. And so that would mean staying out of all of the places where everybody else goes. You know, the financial part was your stumbling block. Milan, you know, people have to go to Milan, you know, spend $2,000, $3,000 a month in rent. You can do that, you know. A lot of business people make big bucks. They go there, they do that, and they sprinkle people with huge deposits and lose. I've seen people lose over $10,000, you know, just being scammed from a landlord. This is not necessarily just some wild international scammer. It's just a landlord that has figured out how to bilk foreigners. It happens all the time. But that won't happen to us because we're going to a lower cost of living area. The title of this video is about how, can I live on Social Security? So we're going to focus on that, stay focused on that. So we're going to find our low cost of living area within an area that's normally understood to be a high cost of living area, which Western Europe is. So that's how we're going to conquer that aspect. The way to figure out if we can live somewhere on Social Security is to see how much are people earning. And so if the locals are earning, for example, the average factory worker in Italy makes 400 euros a week. Now there are those that work in skilled technology jobs that make 4,000 euros a month or more. But for the worker class, they're making 400 euros a week. And so there has to be areas where these people live. And they have to be able to live there. And if they can live there, you can live there. And you can utilize some of the principles that I talk about in my other videos on getting your semi-passive or mostly passive income, so you don't have to wait until your Social Security kicks in. But if you're already there at Social Security, that's fine too. And the other thing is overcoming the financial requirements. Now, the thing about overcoming financial requirements is this. Are you really sure? Because a lot of people act like they're really super sure. But take it from someone that has been living overseas for going on a dozen years, has been in this space watching people move to a country, live there and enjoy it. They go through the whole rigmarole. They put everything in their container. Nice people. They even offer to bring stuff for you. They're nice people. But 5 years later, they're going back. How can you really be 100% sure you're just going to go plant it? You just have this idyllic picture in your mind that this is going to be so wonderful. And even if it is so wonderful, it doesn't mean that you might want to stay there. And imagine how many actual wonderful places there are. And even if you think Italy is the most wonderful place in the world, why would I want to live anywhere else, right? A lot of people have that attitude. I urge you to rethink your strategy anyway and go there for the amount of time they allow you to live there. And then leave. Italy is just a short boat ride away from a couple of countries over there that aren't even in the European Union, And some of these places you can stay 6 months or a year. So you take a little boat ride, you find yourself a little place, you're just right across the ocean, like those mountains over there, like that. You take your boat ride, takes half a day, you get over there, and when your time allows you to come back to Italy, then you come back to Italy. Presto, voila. But you say, no, Frank, I want to buy a house. All right, buy a house. Buy a cheap house. That way you can buy two of them. One in Italy and one a boat ride away across the bay. It's a question of possibility thinking and restructuring our expectations of how to achieve our desired end result of the happy life that we want to be living. Take it from someone that's been doing it all his life.
Hi, we just got back from the Mercado. Look at all the stuff we got. I just want you to see this because it's foundational to this video. All of this stuff, take a look how huge this basket is. This is, remember, I'm shopping for 4 adults, okay? That's why there's so much food here. Look, can you tell how huge this basket? This is like 7 or 8 pounds of onions. This is like 7 or 8 pounds of potatoes. This is like 6 or 7 pounds of tomatoes. Plenty of fruit here. We got 2 pomegranates for just $1. A little bit of red grapes, green apples. We got broccoli, curly leaf lettuce. These are huge bags.
Looks like there's 3 or 4 heads in there.
This is butterhead lettuce. These are specialty greens, chicory greens. All of this was $34. Remember, that's for 4 adults, so if you cut it into 2 for a couple, that would be $17. That's about what we were spending in Cuenca, Ecuador.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and have a wonderful day as always.